Call of Duty points are now in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin. Today what I have for you guys is another tips and tricks video for Infinite Warfare. Today's video we're going to be focusing on the movement speed of the weapons, as well as the charge times for every single combat rig and payload in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This info did come out today along with leaks that came out earlier today. I talked about it in a video. Basically about weapon variants and secret guns that are hidden in the game files on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on PC. I recommend all of you guys check out that video from earlier today. People seem to be enjoying it, and it was a fun one to make, talking about some of these weapon variants that are basically in the files of the game already, as well as other weapons or classic guns we could see coming as DLC in Infinite Warfare. You guys should all check out that video I made earlier today. Now basically today's video is going to be a tip video, how to get better in Infinite Warfare, and we have some valuable information, or I have some valuable information to share with you guys today and to talk about, of the specialist charge times, or basically in this game they're called payloads. You have the combat rig is your guy, and then your payload is basically like your specialist weapon or your specialist ability in this game. Now every single one of these payloads charges at a different pace. Of course a one like a claw, which is an extremely powerful weapon, can't charge up at the same rate as something that's a little bit, less important, like a bull charge or something like that. There always is going to have to be a split between the more powerful it is, the longer it takes to charge up. And basically I have all the charge times here to talk to you guys about today, and basically give my tips on what I think are the best to run, because there is some valuable information here with these charge times of the combat rigs payloads. Now before we get into that, I'd appreciate if we could go for 2,000 likes. It's been my like goal in a lot of these videos. You guys are smashing it up. I mean, my video from the other day got like 6,000 likes, which was absolutely incredible. When I saw that, that was insane. That was on the top 5 guns. People seem to be loving that one. But 2,000 likes would be awesome if you guys could hit that today. That would mean a lot to me. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Now that I've explained how this info came out, let's get right into it. So there's going to be a super charge rate. Every single game mode is going to have a different charge rate. So basically what that means is each one of these payloads has its specific time, and then basically each game mode is going to have a multiplier on that time. So for example, these are the multipliers. I'll go through them and I'll throw it up on the screen right now. The multipliers of these payloads are going to be for free-for-all and team deathmatch, it's 1 time. So it's exactly the number that I'm going to give you guys later in this video. For domination, we got 1.65 times, kill confirmed about 1.5 times, hardpoint 1.83, about 1.5 for uplink. Search and destroy is a 3.38, and that's obviously because in search and destroy you're not going to be able to get these specialists as fast because of how many kills they're going to take. That's basically why it takes so much longer to get it in search and destroy. As well as in infected, we have 0.5 times. So these are basically how hard it is to get the specialists. Obviously free for all, team deathmatch, those are the game modes where you're going to be getting them as fast as possible. In a game mode like search and destroy, you're going to be getting it 3 times slower, and in domination 1.5 times slower, and stuff like that. And basically the reason why they balance that is because in this game, these charge times are just based on the charge time if you're just standing and spawn and not moving. Now, how you speed up your charge time is by capping flags, getting basically any way of getting a score, assists, kills, headshots, medals, any of that helps you to build up your specialist bar at the bottom, or even perks like overclock, and I think there's another combat rig trait that helps you build up faster. Those things add on to this time and make it faster, and that's basically why in a game mode like domination, it's going to be slower to get your combat rig payload than team deathmatch, because in domination, typically you're going to be getting more score because there's going to be capture kills, defense, attacking medals. You're going to be getting capture points, of course, and that's basically why they balance it out with this. I just want to make sure you guys understand all of that. Now that you guys have the charge rates per game mode, let me give you the charge rates per actual combat rig. Now, for the first one, we have the first guy, which is going to be the Warfighter. These are the charge times. For the Claw, it's 270 seconds. For the Combat Focus, it's 150 seconds. And for the Overdrive, it is only 70 seconds. Now, basically, this date basically explains the difference in all of them. Obviously, the Claw is going to have the highest charge rate, or the longest time to charge, because it is an extremely powerful weapon, and honestly, the thing is super overpowered, but you can only get it every 270 seconds, obviously, based on the multiplier of the game mode you're playing. Combat Focus is a very good one, and it's based off every 150 seconds. So that's sort of like a medium, I'd say Claw is a slow, medium would be combat focus, and then the fast one would be overdrive. Obviously, overdrive charges in 70 seconds, so some of you guys may be saying, that's insane, why don't I run overdrive every time? But let's be honest, overdrive doesn't really help you in the game. You know, it makes you run, I mean, it helps you, makes you run faster, and, you know, gets you to a domination point, or it will help you in search and destroy, but it's not really necessarily as helpful in getting kills as a claw or something like that. Now, for the Merc, our charge times are going to be the Steel Dragon, 290 seconds, the Bull Charge, 150 seconds, and the Reactive Armor, 210 seconds. Now, I use the Merc a lot. I only use the Reactive Armor out of these. I find that the Steel Dragon, look at that 290 second charge time, and I don't even think it's a good specialist to start with. It's definitely not worth that much of a charge time. The Bull Charge, I don't think that's good at all. I think it's only for people that, you know, want to play around for fun and mess around. It's kind of fun to mess around with, but the Reactive Armor is definitely very good. You guys see me use it in a lot of gameplays, and that one is a 210 second charge. So it's going to be a minute faster than the Claw, but of course much slower than other ones in the game. Now the next one we have is going to be for the next guy, which I believe his name is the Synaptic. We have the Equalizer, the Rewind, as well as the Reaper. Now on this document it says Combat Burst, but obviously that's just a typo. It actually means the Rewind, and just to be sure, I went into my own private match and I tested this because I didn't really believe that the Rewind charges in 60 seconds, so I went into a private match myself and tested it, and it is 100% true. Exactly 60 seconds on the dot. I stood there, I tested it, 100% legit, which is insane. Now if you think about this, the Equalizer is the one with the basically the dual sort of scythes. That one is 280 seconds. That one's decent, but it's not as good as the Claw in my opinion. And then of course you have the Reaper, which lets you run around and like a little dog and attack people with melee form. That one is 310 seconds, one of the longest charging ones in the game. And then you have a perk like or not a perk, but a payload like Rewind, which you get every 60 seconds, which is absolutely insane in Team Deathmatch or Free-For-All. And even if you're playing Domination or one of these slower game modes, you're still going to be getting this so fast. And that is why I gotta say, that thing is absolutely insane. Rewind, I've been using it quite a bit lately, and just seeing these notes and seeing how fast you can get it, it definitely is worth using, because if you're getting this thing every 60 seconds, this thing literally, Rewind, gives you back your health. It's a glitch from Black Ops 3, plus it gives you back your health, plus it reloads your magazine and gives you extra ammo back. And sort of, I think I've been messing around with some classes that was basically using Rewind and not using Scavenger or Man-at-Arms, and just whenever I'm out of ammo, boom, just Rewind. Don't even use it to make a play on a person. I mean, if you can, that's good, but I've just been rewinding, fill up my ammo, and we're good to go. That definitely is one that's very underrated, and after seeing the charge time, I'd say definitely make sure to use that. The next one we're going to have is going to be, the next guy we have Eraser, 320 seconds, FTL Jump, 60 seconds, and Phase Shift, 60 seconds. Those are basically, the Eraser is the longest charging one in the game, I think, 320 seconds. That one is so long to charge, it's not even worth running. And then the other one, FTL Jump and Phase Shift. Phase Shift in 60 seconds is also very, very powerful, and that's one that I would recommend running, you know, one like the FTL Jump. Sure, it's 60 seconds, it's just not that good compared to something like the Phase Shift. Definitely be sure to run that. For the next guy, we have Gravity Vortex Gun, 310 seconds, the Micro Turret, 210 seconds, and the Centurion, 210 seconds. So this combat rig definitely has a bit of the longer charge times in the game. This is probably the combat rig I use the least. I don't have much experience with it, and let's get right on to the last one. If I'm missing out on anything by not using that combat rig, let me know in the comment section down below. I haven't had much experience with it, but I find that the other 5 are probably a lot stronger. And for the last one, basically what we have is we have the Ballista EM3, which is a 300-second charge time, the Pulsar, which is basically Vision Pulse, 120 seconds, and the Active Camo, 180 seconds. So those are all the charge rates in the game. You guys can calculate it based on your favorite game mode to find out which is going to be the best. Now, how are you going to use this to get better at Infinite Warfare? Basically, I've just been saying stats the whole video. How you're going to use this to get better at Infinite Warfare is having the knowledge. Knowledge is power, man. Power creates skill. Basically, by knowing this, you're going to know, okay, for example, the Eraser, it's a really good pistol, but is it worth 320 seconds to get when you could be getting the Phase Shift every 60 seconds? Basically, that's going to take 5 times the amount of time to charge or something like that. Maybe not 5 times, but a lot of time to charge. Then the point is basically, why run the Eraser when you could be running Phase Shift and using it probably 3 times? Because of course you're not going to use everything right as the time comes up, and that's something that's a bit different. With payload weapons, you're going to use them instantly, or usually instantly, unless you're going to save it for a tight spot. And basically with the abilities, you're sort of going to save them, and that's why, like I said, practice and test out all of these ones that are lower and quicker to earn. The rewind, the FTL jump, the phase shift, those ones are especially really good. And even when like the Vision Pulse Pulsar, it's only got 120-second charge rate, and if you're able to get that very fast because you're using overclock, you're playing team deathmatch or free for all, that thing can be very helpful. And basically, when you're picking your payload and you're picking your combat rig, make sure to pay attention to this and to know which ones are going to be the best based on time, how many times you're going to earn them. If you're playing Search and Destroy, I wouldn't recommend picking the Eraser, because with the 320 seconds and the 3.3 times earn, how long it's going to take to earn it, you're probably going to get it once in the last round, or actually in public matches, you're probably not going to get it at all. Most likely you're not going to get it at all. So when you're playing something like that, you got to focus on more getting phase shifts, more getting overdrives and stuff like that. Also, if you're going for one that takes longer to get, I'd say it would be better to run overclock. If I'm using a claw, a class setup with a claw or a class setup with the Eraser, it's going to be better to run overclock with that class setup than if I'm running just an FTL jump or a phase shift. I don't really need overclock because I'm getting it every 60 seconds or even faster than 60 seconds because I'm going to be getting kills helping me earn up to that. That's basically how I'd say you guys can use this knowledge and these stats to get better at Infinite Warfare. I thought this video was very important. I thought everyone needs to know these charge times because they don't really say. They should honestly say this stuff on the payloads. They should say the charge rates, but Call of Duty doesn't always give us the most info. I mean, they don't even give us a player count nowadays, and you know, they don't show us every single stat about every single gun on the game. So that's why you need to watch YouTube and, you know, do your research on the web to find out info about guns and stuff. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys could drop a like on this thing, I'd really appreciate that. Let's go for 2,000 likes, like I said. Make sure to, you know, be smart. Take these times into consideration when picking your payload, because your combat rig, your payload, and your trait are so important to Infinite Warfare. This will definitely help you guys improve. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for Cookie and Don't Lookie, and I'm out. Peace.